Hi, I hope you're having a great day. In this video, I will be sharing with you some of the medical terminologies used in a caregiving facility here in Japan. You might have heard these words used by your Japanese colleague in a conversation, or you might have read these words written in your elderly resident's personal file. Wherever you may have encountered these Japanese terminologies, it is undeniable that these words, these Japanese medical terminologies, are extremely important for you to familiarize, especially when you're planning to take on the National Caregiver Certification exam. Welcome back to NikkoVenture. In Japanese, medical terminologies are called igaku-yogo, which is comprised of these kanji characters. Come on, we all know what this means, right? It means study, learning, or science. You can easily familiarize yourself with this kanji character by visualizing a child with a bright crown, because a studious child is a bright child. I really do hope that made sense to you. The next kanji is this, which means to use. I will be honest with you, I don't know how this kanji character can be associated with the verb to use. This kanji character are one of those kanji characters that needs a brute memorization rather than imagination to familiarize. Nevertheless, this means only one thing, and that is to use. It doesn't have other meaning other than that. Perhaps you're more familiar with this kanji character, which also means to use. The main difference between these two is that tsukao is commonly used in verbal communication. Mochiro, on the other hand, is often used in writing and is often paired with other kanji characters. Then we have this, which means a word, language, or speech, and is formed by these kanji characters. This means say or a word, while this is an old kanji that means me, myself, and I. This is an obsolete kanji, so you don't need to worry about this one. Last is the kanji for doctor and medicine or healing, which is composed of the kanji character for an arrow or dart and the radical for hide. This basically means a hidden dart. Why is that? What does a hidden arrow or a hidden dart have in common with medicine or healing, or even a doctor for that matter? That is because in ancient times, doctors often do their job with a dart dipped in their own brew of medicine. They cure illnesses by using these medicinal darts. But people at that time didn't know this. They often see doctors use these magical darts to cure the sick. They often see these doctors, or witch doctors, as someone magical. And the secret of these witch doctors and their magical darts are often hidden. You can easily familiarize yourself with the Japanese word igaku-yogo by visualizing a word used in the study of medicine. Iryo-teki-keia. Iryo-teki-keia just means medical care and is composed of the katakana for the English word care, the kanji for a doctor, and these two kanji characters. This just means heal or cure, so pairing it with this kanji character just means the same thing. Heal, cure, medicine. Fun fact! Did you know that the radical used in this kanji is also used for the kanji of ill or sick, for the kanji of pain, the kanji for tired and exhausted, the kanji for symptom or illness, the kanji for cancer? You didn't know it? Well, now you do. Moving on. This kanji is often used as an adjectival suffix. That is, it's often put after other kanji characters and it transforms those kanji characters before it as an adjective. For example, this character is a noun that means sex or gender, but by adding this after it, it would become an adjective that means something sexual. Sex or gender is a noun, but sexual is an adjective. This kanji character is used by a huge majority of Japanese words. Just a side note, iryo-teki-keia is one of the subject matters for the National Caregiver Certification exam. Ninchisho. Now, we're getting really medical. Ninchisho is the most common cognitive condition that affects the elderly in a caregiving facility here in Japan. As a result, Ninchisho or dementia is also the most common topic in the National Caregivers Certification exam. In other words, you will encounter Ninchisho in your studies and at your workplace. In English, Ninchisho is dementia and is composed of these kanji characters. The first one is this, which is the kanji for illness or symptoms. It is composed of this kanji character, which means correct. Adding the radical for sick would mean that something is not right with your body. Something is incorrect. You are sick. The next kanji is this, which means to recognize or discern. Breaking this kanji down further would reveal that it is composed of the characters of say or word and of conceal and secret. Once you recognize and discern what is concealed, you will definitely say something about it. Wow! Then we have the kanji for know or awareness and wisdom, which is composed of the characters for arrow and mouth. To familiarize yourself with this, if you have knowledge or wisdom, anything that comes out of your mouth will fly straight as an arrow. Wow! One of the symptoms of Ninchisho is that the elderly will fail to recognize or discern simple things in the surroundings, such as the time, the place, and even the things that are right in front of their eyes. As a cognitive condition, an elderly with Ninchisho will have impaired knowledge and wisdom. Netchusho. It's already spring here in Japan, and you know what comes after spring, right? Summer. My most hated Japanese season. If you want to know why I hate the Japanese summer so much, I left a link in the description down below. You can check it later. So, heat stroke, or in Japanese, Netchusho, is the common cause of death among the elderly in this country, especially during the hot and humid Japanese summer months. The main symptom of Netchusho is an elevated temperature or heat inside the body. This is one of those kanji characters that is very difficult to make sense even after you break it down to its radicals. As a noun, this could mean heat or netsu. As an adjective, it could mean hot to the touch or atsui. How about you? Do you have any ideas or techniques to memorize this kanji character, this one, using your imagination? If you do, share it in the comments down below. Dassuisho. It is quite uncommon for an elderly to experience netchusho while being inside a caregiving facility, perhaps because the temperatures inside the nursing home are routinely regulated. Despite this, elderly residents are still vulnerable to the effects of dehydration, or in Japanese, dassuisho. Again, it's a symptom or an illness where the water inside the body is removed or taken off. That's because if you have dassuisho or dehydration, your body will lose too much water and other fluids essential for your body to function. This kanji character means to undress, remove, or take off. You may be able to familiarize yourself with this kanji by visualizing a naughty brother, a naughty big brother that has removed all his clothes, revealing the meat inside. Again, that's how I familiarized myself with this kanji character years ago. I hope it will make sense to you as it made sense to me. Hi, you might be wondering why I refer to this kanji character as meat or Nikko rather than moon. To find out, watch this video until the end. Now, let's go back to the video. Tonyobyo. I think this one is quite simple for most of us. Tonyobyo in English is diabetes, a chronic metabolic disease characterized by elevated levels of blood sugar and is one of the most common diseases you can find among the elderly. This kanji character means one thing, and one thing only, and that is sugar. A person with tonyobyo often has a lot of sugar in their blood, and that excess sugar can often be seen in the urine. This is the kanji character for urine and is composed of the character for water and the radical for leftovers. Which makes sense if you think about it. Urine is basically what's left after all the important nutrients are absorbed by the body. You may be familiar with the radical as a roof of a house, but remove the house and the roof will be the leftover. I really do hope that made sense to you. I really do. The third kanji character is so common to those studying the Japanese language, in fact, that you can learn this kanji character from the very beginning of your studies. This means ill or sick and is composed of the person laying in bed and the radical for sick. Together, this would mean a sick person laying in bed. Parkinson Bio. Parkinson's disease is a progressive brain disorder that causes unintended or uncontrollable movements such as shaking, stiffness, and difficulty with balance and coordination. Once you work here as a care worker in Japan, there's a huge chance that you will encounter a person, an old Japanese person with Parkinson's disease, or in Japanese, Parkinson Bio. As a Japanese word, Parkinson Bio is quite easy to familiarize yourself with. As I mentioned earlier, this kanji character means ill or sick. In this context, this would mean a disease. Parkinson is just the word Parkinson's without the apostrophe S and written in katakana. No kosoku. No kosoku, or in English, cerebral infarction or ischemic stroke, is a type of stroke caused by a blockage of the brain's blood vessel. This is one of the most common causes of disability among the elderly in a caregiving facility. As such, no kosoku often pops up several times in the National Caregivers certification exam. Now, for the kanji characters that make up no kosoku. The two characters that make up no kosoku share the same meaning: to close up, to shut, or to obstruct. And just like the other kanji characters in this video, I don't have any imaginative means to familiarize myself with these two. I just wrote them 1,000 times or more until I familiarized them. The other kanji, however, is another story. This is the kanji character for the brain, and this radical is not the moon. No. You can find this radical in almost all kanji characters for the human body parts and internal organs. But contrary to popular belief, this is not the radical for the moon. No, no, no. This is the kanji or the radical for meat. Yes, Nikko. But when used as a radical, it is then warped sideways in a way that resembles the kanji for the moon. Which makes sense if you think about it though. The moon doesn't have anything to do with our brain, our lungs, our liver, our pancreas, and other internal organs and body parts. But our brain, our lungs, and our liver are all composed of meat. Fresh meat. The other radical that composed the kanji character for the brain is just the head with visible fontanelles and some strands of hair. Oha? Some of you might be thinking right now, this man is talking about radicals now for several minutes already. But what the fuck are radicals? Well dude, radicals are the building blocks of kanji. The majority of kanji characters are made up of two or more radicals, and each of these radicals has its own meaning. Some of them are derived from an existing kanji, while others exist as just radicals. Nevertheless, it is of utmost importance to remember that when you familiarize yourself with kanji, do not study it as a single character, but rather try to memorize it as a combination of radicals. It will greatly simplify your learning process. And that's what I did when I started studying Japanese, and that's what I'm still doing even to this day. By doing this, even if I cannot read some kanji characters, I can still understand their meaning, which is extremely important when you take on any Japanese written examinations. Please note that this technique is not 100% absolutely foolproof or not 100% perfect. There will always be some kanji characters that doesn't make any sense at all, even after breaking them down to their radical pieces. In that case, most of us just use brute memorization. So that's it. Those are some of the medical terminologies you may encounter in your workplace as a care worker. Honestly, I can go one further as there are still a lot, and I mean a lot of igakuyogo out there. However, doing so will make this video longer than it should be. What I do suggest, however, is to take notes all the unfamiliar kanji you will encounter in your workplace and take some time to study them to familiarize them when you get home. Remember that there are still a lot of words out there in the outside world that you cannot find in a Japanese language book. If you have some Japanese medical related words you want to share with us in this video, please feel free to share it in the comments down below. Once again, if you learned something from this video, please do leave a like and a comment, and of course, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. It really means a lot to me. Thank you so much for your time watching this video. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.